Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So let's go ahead and let's begin. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. So this is interesting because I actually made a post that talked about this yesterday. Right now in the sky, and I'm not talking Western astrology, I'm talking about actually in the sky. If you live in the northern hemisphere, as the sun is rising, Jupiter and Venus are inside the sign of Gemini, just above the horizon. And one of the things that's taking place right now for this collective is a lot of mental chatter. Now, this mental chatter is due to a lot of heart healing that has been taking place. A lot of you have been doing very extensive shadow work. You've been going in, you've been healing the relationship between the masculine and feminine energies within you. Some of you have been healing your own heart space. Part of that post that I posted last night is that there is on the other channel a heart space subliminal that was posted last night. So if you're interested in that, that's linked in the description box below. It's a little bit more of an affirmation because I did put the words up a little bit. So if you want it to be subliminal, just turn it down. Just turn it down a little. Okay. So with the Venus being in Jupiter, we have a lot of beliefs surrounding that very innocent feminine energy that is trying to be released right now so that it can expand, right, with Jupiter. There's a lot going on here. So one of the things that they're bringing forward for me is the idea of like the 9 of Pentacles with the 10 of Swords next to it. So it's this idea of love, beauty, that part of us that desires those things, the part of us that feels like we experience those things having isolated for a very long time because of betrayal, because of struggle, right? Whether you're masculine or feminine, you know, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. Just that part of us, that Venusian part of us, having been closed off and having to support itself for a very long time. Now, for some of you, this manifests in this paradox between the expansive male energy and this feminine, nurturing, loving, beauty, you know, lighter energy. And it has created a very deep, dark feminine inside of you, right? So maybe you are a male and you find that you get very like vengeful or rageful, right? Or maybe you're a feminine energy, you're a female, and you just feel like you just have this really dark hatred for men, right? There's all sorts of ways that this dark feminine energy can manifest, and I'm not placing a good or bad label on this, right? So please be aware of that as I'm going through this. What's happening though is that to be complete, this feminine energy up here has to be expressed. It has to expand. It's inside of a very small box right now, and it's because of these swords. It's the beliefs, right? Our belief state. So many of you are working through very old programs, very old beliefs, very old wounds, and shifting those in order to allow yourself to step into this place where you can express love, where you can find beauty, and that it doesn't have to be just in quiet moments by yourself, right? Another aspect of this is healing our masculine aspect, our expressive, expansive masculine aspect. If we have a bad relationship to that energy outside of us, we have a very bad relationship to it inside of us, right? This is how this works. So someone here is also healing that. Maybe we've suppressed that aspect because we have a bad relationship to it outside, right? There is this partnering and this merging that's trying to take place in this space, but it has to happen within the beliefs. And so for some of you, you've been working on that. You've been working on your beliefs. You've been working on the way you think about things. You've been working on your perceptions. If you are currently experiencing, they're having a very hard time being grounded and focusing your thoughts on the current moment. If you're like, for example, feeling like your entire week has just flown by, and not in the normal way, but because you feel like you can't get your mind to stop. First, side note, definitely if you are somebody that struggles with attention issues because you're always in your thoughts and your thoughts are always racing, please understand that that is a very high indicator for me that someone has telepathic ability. So please explore that, look around on YouTube, do some exercises, try some things, learn to cultivate that for yourself. Okay. And for everyone else, well, not for everybody else, it's the same collective. There is this idea that the reason why everything is kind of shifty and janky right now is because since we've shifted our beliefs, what have we shifted? Our identity, right? And if you shifted your identity, you're shifting your energy. So this is one of the reasons why everything seems a little chaotic in our mental space right now. For some of you, it's going to extend into the emotional space. It's because you have literally changed. You've literally shifted, whatever that means to you, right? For me, I'm just speaking from an energetic standpoint. We have clothed ourselves in a new energy and we're vibrating a new energy. So there's going to be some massive changes that follow because of that. So let's go ahead and let's get a little bit more information. If you're familiar with this deck, you know why I'm laughing. This Luathus the Wild. This is that sort of like... Oh, I wish I had the book so I could actually read what's written about it so you can see what I mean. This is that sort of creative, like, chaos, can't control it sort of energy. And this is coming after a time where we spent ourselves in this energy, right? Which it's very different. It's flap the footer is I can't move, I can't make any decisions, I'm too afraid, right? I can't go out and do the things and I don't know what direction to take, and all these kinds of feelings. For some of you, this actually isn't going to resonate for everybody. This one, flap the footer, is just for some of you. And now it's like, I just want to go and I want to do. For some of you, again, this is just in the mental space. Your thoughts are just racing. Everything is just kind of chaos right now. Notice the color green showing up on both of them. Again, this is a throwback to that idea that the heart space has changed something. The color of giving and receiving, right? So the energy that we put out and the energy that we're pulling in has changed. Okay, we have the Singer of Connection. Again, the idea of partnership, the unity of the masculine and feminine energies is what has changed. So someone here has successfully delved into that water and has changed something. I don't want to say healed. It feels like transformed. And those are two different things. Someone has transformed something here. Okay. Some of you, I will say that this has the external reality is what has caused this. In other words, you may be having an experience with a masculine energy outside of you that has set this off. For others of you, it might be, life circumstances that set it off, something else that took place, something maybe that crumbled, right? Possibly the passing of somebody even, in which case you have my condolences. Here we have the fairies of the future, and then we have the soul shrinker. We understood that we couldn't take this energy with us, right? Whatever it was inside, this sort of bitterness or sadness or shame or guilt or anger or vengeance, right? All those energies, they have a place, right? But as I'm always saying, they have a place when appropriately applied. We've realized somewhere in here that this was consuming us, that this was an energy that was not doing us any favors inside of our life, and that's why we dug into it. It came up probably on its own in some fashion, but we did the work to essentially transform something inside of this space. There's a priority shift that had to happen here. When I see the fairies of the future, even though it's talking about what we take into the future, for me, this is always about our change of priorities so that we can get to the future that we want. If you've been with me for a while, you know that that's what the Amanita muscaria mushroom means to me. It's a change of priorities. I don't know why it's always been that way, though. So there's a change of priorities here, and it took us being very honest with ourselves. We have honesty, and we had to be very honest about where this energy was lurking inside of us. If we look at the soul shrinker, right, he's up to no good. He just wants to be a victim. He wants to hate people. He wants to be angry about things. He wants to wage war. He wants to say, you know, oh, this isn't going the way that I think it should go. So, you know, and we've had to really monitor this energy. We may have first seen it in others in order to see it inside of ourselves. For some of you, you had someone point it out to you. For others of you, this is just something that has been something we've struggled with for a very long time. The interesting thing about the soul shrinker is it's actually very sad, right? So there's a lot of pain that had to be healed in order to transform this energy. Here we have the Roar. Again, this is another card about ungrounded energy. So it's really just confirming to me that there's a lot of ungrounded energy right now. And it's because we've gone through something that is very mental in nature. We have here the fiery sword. The sword really speaking to me about the mental attributes of this transformation. It's a change of mind. Someone here has had a change of mind. Whenever we have a change of mind, we have a change of perception also. Both the change of mind and the change of perception leads to a change of emotions. When you have all three, this is very powerful and a catalyst for new manifestations if it's applied to your willpower, right? So this is a really good time in this shifting of energy. This is a really good time for someone to decide exactly what it is they want now and to go after that, right? Here, and I feel that for many of you, it's going to revolve around those Venusian qualities: love, beauty, right? Happiness, that's sort of like comfort. Here with He of the Fiery Sword, I am being drawn to the butterfly that's on this sword. Again, that transformation of thought, right? Taking on new beliefs. And if we change our beliefs and we change our perceptions and we change our emotions, we've changed ourselves. So allowing yourself to recognize that, okay, I'm no longer this person. I am choosing my identity, right? Sometimes that can be very powerful as a tool to just frame it that way for ourselves. But this is the opening of a new era inside of our life with the guardian at the gate. Now, I do want to say that I'm almost feeling that the sage here is the guardian of the gate. There's like this passing through an initiation of wisdom, right? Understanding and gaining some sort of clarity and wisdom. There may be an event that takes place that's going to require us to utilize what we've recently learned. So don't be surprised if there's some sort of challenge that crops up now that we have this new gateway available to us. For some of you, it's going to be realizing that the door that's opening is not the door that you wanted, right? Oh, I finally have this thing. And then now that I finally have this thing, I'm realizing, oh, this thing isn't everything it was cracked up to be. I'm going to say this because it's coming through very heavily. And I don't speak about the twin flame thing. I have opinions about that. But if you are a person who identifies with being on that journey and you are in this and you realize, something has shifted and like everything's working out now, you may realize that this person is not the person that you even want, right? And I'm going to say similarly, if you're involved in a trauma bond and, you do your work and suddenly you realize that this person that you felt so bonded to, it was a trauma bond. You're not really actually interested in them as a person. It was a confirmation bias set about by your beliefs that drove you towards this person and created attraction. Some of you may be experiencing that right now. Same with any situation in your life. You may be finding that thing that was so important to you, it was actually there to confirm your own negative biases to you in terms of failures or devaluing you. So that's just a little bit of hardship that some of you may realize as you're coming to this gate. That's not going to be for everybody, but for some of you, you're going to get to this new phase and you're going to realize, wow, who I am now doesn't even fit with this anymore. Okay. Okay. We just have something kind of confirming that, if I'm honest. So what we have here is we have the Four of Materials, the Magician, the Devil, and it's leading to the Seven of Inspiration. I'm reading this a little bit different than I am a Rider-Waite deck because of the imagery that's on this card. Here we have the Four of Materials, and she has these things that she has been growing and she's holding on to them. They're very important to her, right? And then what's happening here, however, is that she is becoming the Magician. She's stepping into this energy of, you know, I'm in control. I always have been in control, and now I recognize that. I recognize that I'm the one that's been orchestrating this, right? You can even see how this rainbow is leaving her head. Her thoughts come into this field, and then they create her reality. And here what she sees is the devil, right? The thing that she's been bound to, the thing that she has chosen to be bound to. With this energy, allowing ourselves to understand exactly what those things are, whether it's the struggle inside of ourself between that Venus and Jupiter-like energies, right? That expansive male energy, that very beautiful, loving female energy. Understanding how those two can actually be merged and create something new between them is going to be the key for this collective. Now, some of you, like I said, it may be that you, whatever the catalyst external to you is, you may realize that it's not even anything that you want after you have that internal transformation. And the releasing of that thing is something that's going to be very profound for you. It's going to mark the end of a very long cycle inside of your life, quite possibly even a cycle that you've had inside of lives. Now, one thing that I'm seeing at the very end of this, at the end of this energy, as we come to this guardian of the gate and this sort of, I'm going to call it a test, right? That's a really lame way to put it, but I don't know what other word to use right now, so I'm just going to say a test. Initiatory experience, there you go. We have the Seven of Inspiration. If you look at this woman, she is like emerging. And that's what it feels like. Someone here is emerging as the star. What is the star? The star is liberated. So someone here, this is about liberating yourself as you basically heal the dynamic between this internal feminine and internal masculine energies that are inside of you. Again, it's all happening here within the belief space. Ace of Voices are thoughts. Okay. Okay, I'm being told to stop there. So this is the message. Whoever's message this is, I wish you the best of luck with this. And if it resonates with you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.